Are you the person that has given up their freedom? Because what people don't understand is they are giving up their freedoms every day. And I'm going to show you what I mean, and maybe it'll help you understand. When you become a troll or when you report somebody and you think, I've done just right and I feel good and I am almighty power, I got bad news for you. You're not. You've actually become a person that gives up their rights. Let me explain this. If a person is saying something that is agreeable, not agreeable, you can always unsub them and move on. There's no reason to report them. There are some people that will actually study YouTube's TOS, the terms of service, and find any little thing they can when they don't like somebody. They literally have that much time where they will sit down and spend a day reading that thing. So now the creator himself that creates videos like myself, we have to read that thing like the back of our hand, and we have to spend a couple days studying it, and we have to learn it because of the evil pricks that are out there. People try to come up with code words when they talk. They try to use different words. I mean, it's quite ridiculous. YouTube tries to combat it by putting links in the bottom saying, here is the real information. Which actually says, are people really that stupid? I'm starting to wonder if it's true. You see, back in the old days, everybody used to say YouTube was so great. It was much better than it is now. And yet, back in the old days, you would get somebody dressed up like Spider-Man doing a silent film inside a plastic pool and basically faking they were taking a shit in the pool. And the kid would rewind it, go fast forward, go back, go fast forward. And they were making thousands of dollars doing that because the kid would laugh at it. I mean, you just mention the word fart to a kid and they'll start laughing like crazy. But all of a sudden you had a CEO look in the back seat, seeing what his kid was watching, and he said, what the hell's that? So then he contacts YouTube and he starts to realize and sees a part of YouTube he doesn't like. And he says, look, unless you change this, I'm pulling my financing. Well, then people get all upset and think it's the end of the world. But in actual case, people that actually work a job, that have a boss and managers and so on and so forth, do they not get told what to do every day? Do they not feel horrible when they're yelled at on the job? I know when I was younger I did. But we did as we were told because we had to pay our bills. We had to pay our car insurance. We had no choice. So people want to describe a troll as somebody on a government income or somebody that has no life or a teenage in a basement. It really isn't. It's probably them and then some. I've seen people that are 50 years old that are trolls that have good paying jobs. It's really right across the board. But every time you report somebody, you are literally giving away your freedom. You are screaming to YouTube. You're saying, YouTube, please protect me. This guy on this video or this girl has hurt my feelings. Please. You need to forgive. You need to help me. You need to help my feelings. We've become a society of everything is judged on feelings. And you can see it everywhere you look. I mean, you just look at Biden's administration. At one time, people were hired because they had a certain amount of education, because they could do the job. There was a lot of particulars why that person would be hired for work. But now it's not like that. Wait, we need to hire a tranny over here. As long as they got grade 12, we're okay. Let's hire them. It's all about feelings. And that's all there is to it anymore. Our society has changed so bad. We're very lucky in the United States to have an ocean on each side of us. And because it prevents many countries from attacking us. If we were in Europe and we were where Ukraine was or any of those other countries, we wouldn't have the luxury to have the feelings we have. Feminists, you see that side of the coin. I mean, That's just a cluster mess right going on right there. It really is. Everybody feels like they have a point to be made. I never seen anything like it. If you see a channel you don't like, unsub and move on. Why do you stay on that particular channel and report them and keep giving up your rights? It's just stupid. And it's just nuts. Everybody's worried about what is a man? What is a woman? You see a man smoking a cigar and talking all tough, and he is masculine. I don't know. To me, it sounds pretty stupid. When I grew up, when I was younger, I didn't have time to think about being a man or being masculine. I was too busy trying to find a job, getting a paycheck, buying a car, and moving on with my life. Keeping food in my belly and keeping a roof over my head because I didn't want to be homeless. I knew drugs were bad. I didn't go down that route. And I knew a lot of that was. Bottom line is, if you're sad and you feel like you need to do drugs to be happy, then you should be man or woman enough to announce to yourself in the mirror that you have a problem and you need to get help. And that's it. But everybody's worried about their feelings being hurt. There's one guy on YouTube, I'm not going to use his name. He's a very large, obese man, and he runs around with his shirt and his gut hanging out, bouncing up and down on a constant basis. He will make a 30-minute video, and people will watch him from everywhere. Over 1 million subs. And he will make a lot of money. And he's laughing all the way to the bank. He doesn't care if people insult him, call him names. He just feeds off those people. And they make him money. If he's willing to do that, all the power to him. Not somebody I would watch. I had somebody share a couple of his videos. I looked at them, I thought, this is stupid. And I moved on. I don't believe somebody should report somebody because every time you do, you're crying to the YouTube God saying, please, this person has hurt my feelings. You know, I've seen people send me videos saying, oh my God, look at this. They showed their boobs. And I'm kind of shaking my head, and then I'll ask them, have you ever been to Pornhub? And they'll say, oh yeah, I've been there a few times. Well, then why did that bother you? Well, I'm thinking about the kids, they'll tell me. You're thinking about the kids? What, your kids? I mean, they're just trying to find a reason for whatever they can to hate the person. Every time you ask the YouTube gods and you report somebody and you ask them for help on your feelings, you are taking away your freedom. Just be aware of that. YouTube does the least they can do to keep their payment people that pay for advertising and marketing and everything. They're doing this balance dance to keep them happy. And that's the bottom line. You're going to protect your money. And that goes on with any business. But one thing's for sure, whether you're a feminist, whether you're somebody trying to figure out where you belong in this world, you put a backpack on, you walk out in the bush, you'll find out real quick when you get into poison ivy, when you get into poison oak, or when you get into fire ants, or when something goes wrong, and it does happen, you're going to find out how tough you are very quickly. The funny thing about nature, it don't care if you're a man, it don't care if you're a woman, it don't care if you're a feminist. It doesn't care if your feelings get hurt. It doesn't care if a pack of wild wolves come along and decide to eat you alive. That's the real thing about nature. We have all these political agendas we keep doing. I'm a feminist, I'm a tranny, I'm a male, I'm a tough male, I'm a female. I mean, I just go on and on. It's ridiculous. Just live your life. Be who you want. Who cares if you're a tranny? Who cares if you're gay? Who cares if you're a lesbian? If you're happy, hey, knock yourself out. But that doesn't mean I want to see those people. Just like they can unsub me, I can unsub them. I don't know why we have to be in this world where everybody wants to be huggy-huggy. Makes no sense to me. I am almost 60 years old. I've lived my entire life working my ass off, and I never even thought about any of these political views when I was growing up. I was too busy working. The only thing I figure is all these people must have too much time on their hands. They must. If your feelings get hurt because of a few words or because somebody said something that hurts you with words, we have a very, very weak society. And if somebody ever does step on those shores and decide to attack us, I'm starting to wonder if we're even going to survive, because they could probably beat us on what's going on. And that's just the sad part. A little piece of advice for you. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, and it is sad because every time people try to talk about history, they try to shut it down. You'll notice Japan did not land on the shores of USA. Did you ever ask yourself why? Japan did not land on the shores of USA because they had told each other that behind every tree is a gun. In other words, there is no way we're going to take any land in USA. And that's a fact. That's the truth. What is freedom worth to you? Is it worth defending it with your life, this land, the USA? Or is it worse, or is it better to just hate everybody and report everybody and act like every little thing is the end of the world? It's very, very childish. And I've even heard people say the government tries to keep everybody separated. If that's true, then they've achieved it. And most of you fools have fallen for it. Stop giving away your freedom. Stop reporting. Just unsub. Move on. Stop worrying about it. It's a world where your freedom should be number one, and it should matter no matter what happens. And no matter whose feelings are hurt, it don't fucking matter. I'll catch you guys on the next one.